Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to plant Angiosperm Morphology course. We started the discussion of adventitious roots and we described the first category of adventitious roots, that was subterranean adventitious roots. And now we are going to start the next category, and that is partly subterranean. The partly subterranean adventitious roots are those which are partly above and partly below the surface of the soil. So part of them is, for example, this is soil. So part of them is above the soil and the rest is below the soil, below the surface of the soil. And they are usually classified into three basic kinds, and those are stilt roots, and prop roots, and aerating roots. Or nematophores. These are the three basic categories of partly subterranean roots. So the first one is stilt roots. They usually arise from the lower part of the stem. Again, this is soil. And this is the stem, for example, in sugarcane. And these are the nodes of the stem in sugarcane, lower nodes. So these roots, they arise from the lower nodes of the stem like this, and they grow obliquely downwards and then they enter the soil. So these are stilt roots, arise from the lower part of the stem, from the lower nodes. They enter the soil and anchor the plant. So they give support to the plant because they So these are stilt roots. So what are stilt roots? They arise from the lower part of the stem, and then they grow obliquely. So they are in a slanted position, not straight. Grow obliquely into the soil and anchor the plant, and they keep it erect. And the very common example is sugarcane, also in maize and many other similar plants. These stilt root develops and they support the plant. Next is the prop roots, the second of the partly subterranean roots. Prop roots are commonly found in trees, especially the ficus or ficus genus, and plants that belong to this genus are very common and famous plants, and these are banyan trees, Ficus bengalensis and Ficus religiosa, what we call people. Now this is its vernacular name, and English name is unknown. The Ficus religiosa. So Ficus religiosa and Ficus bengalensis, Ficus elastica, these plants, they develop roots from their aerial branches. So for example, this is, we cannot draw the full tree, but just to explain, so this is a Ficus bengalensis tree. And from its aerial branches, now these are its aerial branches, suppose, and from these branches roots develop which grow downwards, and they finally, as they grow downwards, they finally touch the ground, and they enter the ground and act like normal roots. And with the passage of time, secondary growth takes place in these roots, and they become thick and prop-like, because these tree, they have very large canopy which spreads a lot, and obviously such a large canopy with thick and heavy branches with quite thick stem, so they need support, and these are the prop roots. So they provide support, not only support, but as they enter the soil, they function like normal roots. So apart from support, they also provide water and minerals. So absorption and support, both of these functions are performed by these prop roots of banyan tree. So the prop roots, they arise from the aerial branches of these plants, grow vertically downwards, and when they touch the ground, they enter the soil. So I'm touching the ground, enter the soil, and not only support the plant, but they also carry on absorption of water and minerals. And with the passage of time, they become thick due to secondary growth, and act like props or pillars. So these were the prop roots. As you can see, when they become thick, they act like props, and they support the tree, the branches, especially the aerial branches, the horizontal branches, which are quite thick. So these were the prop roots. And the third and final category in this partly subterranean roots are the aerating roots. As their name indicates, aerating, they provide air to the plant, and they are found in plants that grow in marshy places, where waterlogged places, where the air in the soil has been replaced by water. And obviously the roots which are inside the soil, inside that marshy soil, they do not get air or oxygen. So these roots provide oxygen or air to those roots. And they are found in plants and trees known as mangrove. Mangrove, the Rhizophora species. So these roots are somewhat like this. They are just like pipes, and roots come out of those marshy areas like this. So these have small pores, and now they are above the surface of the soil. Now this is soil, marshy soil. So these roots, now these are the aerating roots, which are connected to the underground roots, and they come out of the soil, come out of those marshy soil, and they have pores in them, and through these pores air enters and it circulates through these pipe-like underground parts of the roots and provide air to the roots which are inside the soil. So in this way the roots get oxygen, and the trees can grow normally inside the soil. So just to visualize the actual position, so for example this is a tree, the main trunk, and it's growing. This is the soil. Now you will find something like this. These roots coming out of the soil. These roots are connected to the underground roots, and they have pores in them, and through these pores air enters and supplies oxygen to the roots which are below the surface of the soil. So this is the situation. This is a mangrove tree trunk. So these were the aerating roots, and the final category of, or the final kind of, partly subterranean roots. So more about, or the final category of adventitious roots, and that is the aerial roots, will be discussed in the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.